I don't know if you really realize this by now, but I'm kind of black. Yes, I know, I'm black, and I'm actually from America. I was born in Evanston, a little bit outside Chicago, and I was raised in Alabama. But my parents are actually immigrants. My father was born in London and raised there, and my mother was born and raised in Jamaica. They came to America to pursue a better lifestyle and better education. And I say they're doing pretty well because they both hold terminal degrees in their respective fields. But when I think about my parents' story, I can't help but think about the greater American story. The story of immigrants coming from out the country, wherever that country may be, or continent, whether it be Europe, Asia, Africa, South America, all coming to America in order to pursue the American dream. The dream that if you work very hard, then you will be able to amass a certain quality of life. And because this is the end of the month and we're talking about road trips, I like to think of these migrations as greater versions of road trips. And two stories in particular really sum up well the journey of an immigrant. Particularly, I'm talking about El Norte, or The North in translation, by Gregory Navat and Anna Thomas, and The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck, a classic American novel. In El Norte, two siblings have to leave their home and their life in Guatemala because the gentry have taken their lands. And they make their journey north through Mexico into California, a very arduous journey in order to have a better life. And in The Grapes of Wrath, we follow the Jodes, an Oklahoman family who during the Great Depression have been upheaved from their homes and have to make the journey west to California in hopes that they will attain jobs harvesting certain crops and use that money to make a new family base in California. In both these stories, both families flee to California. And in both stories, they have to go to California because what is at home is no longer good for them. And certain aspects of these stories really puts into perspective the journey and the struggle of certain migrants to this country. I'm particularly reminded of a scene in El Norte when this woman in Guatemala is praising America because everyone has access to toilets. It's just crazy to me. Someone who's grown up with a toilet their whole life, you kind of take that for granted. And in The Grapes of Wrath, they're called the discriminatory term Okies. And they're really hated in California because there are so many people traveling to California that California has just become overpopulated with immigrants. And there's no work for real, and it's really hard for them to find secure footing. These stories particularly resonate with me because I too am moving to California in a few months. I'm moving there for graduate school in hopes that I too will have a better quality of life and that I will be able to pursue the American dream. To be honest with you, I'm quite terrified to move to LA. It's such a big city. I was just there last week, as you guys know, and it's really daunting because the field I'm going in is a very competitive field, and a lot of people won't care about you. But I take solace in the stories of those who came before me, who faced persecution and yet persevered in spite of it. From the stories of all these immigrants who make these long road trips across seas, across deserts, and across rivers and ravines, I am truly inspired. And I am very grateful that we live in a nation that encourages us to climb up the rungs of society. No matter what our financial status is, no matter what our beliefs are, you still have the ability to pursue your dreams, the American dream. And that is the greatest road trip, I don't know of all. It's a pretty great road trip though, let's be honest. And Easter is coming this Sunday if you haven't realized by now. And Easter, they always show the Ten Commandments, which I mean, you can kind of guess by the name, is about the Israelites' exodus from bondage in Egypt. And as my last road trip vlog concludes, I implore you to watch that movie this weekend because it's a great movie. I didn't appreciate it at first, but the dialogue is so great on there. It's so amazing. Like, we don't write like that anymore. So yeah, that is the end of my weekly vlog, and that is the end of this road trip month. Meredith, I am sorry that I did not get to your song. I will have that song ready. If it was a cover, I might have done it this week, but because you said an original song, that might take a little bit more time. As Meredith says, love me in the comments. I don't care if you love me in the comments, though. You can love or hate me in the comments, but I will love you in the comments. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Until next time, August KB out. Cut it.